Hello, this is John Ecken with Tandem Solution, and I'm here to give you a short video presentation about Office 365 collaboration and really what to expect as your organization rolls out Office 365. Quickly, our agenda: give you a quick introduction about myself and about my company, Tandem Solution, walk you through kind of an introduction of Office 365 and why you should be excited to be moving to the cloud, and then talk about some of the different ways we can use OneDrive, 365 groups, and SharePoint to do collaboration. My name is John Ecken. I am one of the owners of Tandem Solution. I've been in the IT industry for quite a few years and really have been focused on application development, cloud solutions, networking, and communications. So I've been a Microsoft certified trainer for a number of years also. There's my email address there. You feel free to reach out any comments, questions that you might have about this presentation. Quickly, Tandem Solution, we are a training company based out of Louisville, Kentucky. We have been on contract with the state of Kentucky for 10 plus years for multiple contracts, from IT training to business solutions type training. So if you have any needs at all, please reach out to us. We'd love to help your organization with their training process. One of the things that we do really well is help you find a training solution that fits. So if you've got a situation where, oh, I can't have somebody out for 5 days, hey, come talk to us. We got a solution. We can have you in training for a few days over a period of time, or maybe it's a couple hours a day, or maybe it's working through a mentor to get the training that you need. So we really pride ourselves on the ability to deliver solutions that fit your needs, not necessarily to force you into a solution that we have. Okay. My presentation today is we're going to really walk through what is Office 365 and how can I use that to be more productive. So when we look at Office 365, we're really talking about a cloud solution, software as a service, where everything that we need for communication gets moved into the cloud. And there's lots of benefits to that. We've got high uptime. We've got everything hosted by Microsoft, so we don't have to worry about backing up our servers. We don't have to worry about having multiple servers in multiple locations across the US. We've got our web applications, we've got our mobile devices that can all connect to this. So there's tons of benefits of moving to the cloud, even in a lot of cases, just cost. Just a lot of organizations have seen that there's a cost savings by moving to the cloud versus having everything that comes with Office 365 in an on-premise environment. So why is it good for you? Well, we'll start with a couple key points here. One is the security. When you look at, oh, is it secure? It's in the cloud. What are they doing with my data? You've got to understand that Microsoft goes above and beyond to secure your data because this is their livelihood. Take it into a same situation like a bank. You can save your money. You can put all your money under your mattress, whatever it is, and that security is okay, but it's not the best. Putting your money in the bank just elevates that level of security. So Microsoft is constantly scanning for viruses. They constantly have multiple data centers spread across the globe. So if one data center is down, your uptime is still up. So there's lots of advantages that we have by going to the cloud and the security that the cloud offers us. Everything you need is included. So with one subscription, I've got everything I need. I've got my applications, I've got my email, I've got web conferencing, I've got OneDrive for cloud storage. I don't have to sit here and buy a ton of different licenses and a ton of different things to get what I need for my office productivity. The other great thing is that my one license allows that productivity suite to be shared across multiple devices that I own. So nowadays, we don't just have a computer. We've got our phone, we've got a tablet, we've got a computer at work, we've got a computer at home. We need the ability to access all that information and everything that we need wherever we are. Still the same Office. So if you've been using Office for a long time, it's still Office. So even when you move to 365, your desktop version of Office is going to be right now Office 2016. It's just an upgrade from earlier versions of Office that you might have used. So don't be nervous. Don't think, oh no, they're taking away my Office product for me. They're not. In fact, they're just expanding it. They're giving you the ability to use the Office on your desktop and in the web. And the greatest thing we see about that is we're starting to see more and more commonality. If I pull up Office in the web, sometimes it's hard to even tell that it's different than Office on my desktop. Just show a quick Excel document here, and we can see very, very similar. If I go to edit this in the browser, I see a lot of the same functionality that I see in Excel. Let's say here, we're going to say total cost. Come up here and do a formula just like I would do in my browser. I'm going to click equals. I'm going to come in and say leaflet cost times the number of leaflets that we handed out. And now I got my total cost column. Come back here, double click that, and pass that down to all the rows. I'm in the browser. I didn't have to open Excel to do that. Now, are there times that I am going to want to open Excel? Yeah, there's definitely times that desktop version's there and it's better for us. But it's the same Office product that we've known for a long time. It's just available in a lot of different formats now. It's also very compatible across all of our platforms. So you got a Mac at home? Great. You can still have Office. It doesn't matter what you want to use. Office is going to be a product that we can use across all of our platforms wherever we actually need it. And the biggest thing is we're going to have access to it anywhere and everywhere. So if you're on vacation and someone calls you up and goes, hey, something's wrong with this presentation, can you take a look at it? You might be able to just pull up your phone, open up PowerPoint on your phone, go into that presentation and make a modification. If that presentation was sitting on your desk, not that it's impossible, but it's a lot harder when we don't move it to the cloud. So, the key that Microsoft sees is information is what's driving business. And the idea of getting that information in your hands when you need it, where you need it, is a very important part of our business operations. So, as we can see, Office 365 is going to give us a lot. One of the key things I want to look at in this presentation is the use of Office 365 for collaboration and productivity. Okay, in the past, we throw that word collaboration out a lot, and we try to work with our colleagues and we try to do things. And there's definitely been ways of doing that for a long time. Office 365 just takes that to the next level for us, and it gives us a lot of different options to collaborate, from using our desktop applications to our web browsers, to making sure that when we share files, we're not sending multiple copies of that file out. So let's take a quick look at Office 365 collaboration and how we can accomplish some of these tasks. So we'll start with a couple of different options that we have. When I think of collaboration, I first kind of break down into three different options. I've got my OneDrive storage, I've got Office 365 groups, and I've got SharePoint. And I really look at those, and you see I have this labeled 1, 2, 3, kind of as a growth. When I go to OneDrive, that's where my collaboration really is going to start with my personal documents. Okay, so let's take a quick look at OneDrive, and we'll move into groups. So with OneDrive, this is kind of considered my cloud storage, my personal storage. This would be a replacement for my documents. Maybe it's on your desktop or you have a network share somewhere. And ideally, what goes into OneDrive is your stuff. Anything that you would have normally placed into your My Documents, over maybe putting that into a network share, that's going to be where we're going to store that in OneDrive. You get a large amount of storage with Office 365, so usually you have plenty of space, and we can set up OneDrive to be synchronized, whether it's to our desktop, to our laptop, even to your mobile device. Now, on your mobile device, typically you're not going to sync everything in OneDrive, but you can go in and say, hey, I need this file, this file, and this file to be available offline, so that I can work on them maybe somewhere where I know I'm not going to have connectivity, or maybe my connectivity is limited and I want to make sure it performs well. Now, with OneDrive, you do have that ability to share. Okay, so a lot of times, even your own personal documents, you're going to want to share those out with individuals so that they can work with you. And so OneDrive is a great place to do that. And the nice thing about OneDrive is you share out a document, it's your document. So any point in time that you feel like taking that document back and removing the sharing, you have the control because it's in your OneDrive, your personal space, and you control that. So let's take a quick look at OneDrive. So I'm going to go in here to my Office 365. You see I'm currently logged in as myself, and I'm in a presentation folder in OneDrive, and I have a handful of documents that are listed here. OneDrive is set up as a very modern application look and feel. There's definitely some benefits of OneDrive, little things like if I need to upload a document, I don't necessarily have to even click the upload. I can kind of drag that document into my OneDrive location, and it's going to upload that document for me directly into OneDrive as long as, again, I'm using a modern browser. So again, that will start to upload here in just a little bit. We're going to see too, OneDrive makes it nice to tell me who it's shared with. So if I look at these particular documents, I can see that these 3 documents are locked out. They're only shared with me. They're my personal documents, but these other documents, I've shared those out with other individuals. And if I go ahead and select that document, I'm going to actually see what individuals I've shared that document out with. Okay, and at any point in time, I can go ahead and hit change permissions and say, you know what, student 1, we're done. I'm going to change you to a view only maybe, so you no longer can modify that document, but maybe you can still see it, or hey, we're done. I don't need you anymore at all for that. I'm going to remove sharing completely. And we can see now when we go back into our OneDrive location, now that's only shared with me. So OneDrive gives us a really, really nice look and feel for managing our documents. We can see who they're shared with. We can actually look at even things like the history of that document. If I go in, I can even see, recent activity, who's been working on that document, to really understand what's there. And that in itself is a huge advantage over what we would see just in a network share or even in my documents, or especially by emailing that document out to 4 or 5 different people. Now I've got 4 or 5 different versions of that document out there. From a collaboration standpoint, what we'll find in OneDrive is really useful is that, first, if I want to collaborate, I can choose to collaborate just in the browser. So if I go in, open that document in the browser, I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to edit this in the browser. Now I'm working on this document. If I log in as another individual, so here I'm in as student 1, you notice I've logged into the Office 365 portal, which is really nice because all my apps that I need are right here. It also shows me every document that I've recently been working on. So you probably will notice in a lot of things in work, you tend to work on the same document for a while. Then once that's done, you move on. And this is nice because everything that I've been using is right here available to me. And we can see, I'm going to go ahead and click on this document as a secondary account. Again, this count, they say, yep, I need to do some editing. So they're going to go ahead and edit in the browser too. And right away, we notice it's telling me that, hey, you got 2 people that are working here. It shows me who's editing these particular documents. And actually, I got 2 other because I've got this open in multiple browsers. I even have the ability to see, so I can see where they're currently at in the document. And if I flip over back to this document, I get the same solution here. I can see, so as you notice, as I click around, I'm actually seeing where in the document you're moving. If that individual makes a change, almost immediately I see that change taking place. When I'm in the browser, really nice benefit too. I've got this chat button. So I go ahead and click on chat, and I can say, hey, what are you working on? And I can immediately send a message over there where this author can go in and work and see, and we can communicate. We really can collaborate with each other back and forth so that we don't overwrite each other's information, don't conflict, but we're working together on a document. The other thing that's nice in the cloud is that, hey, as I'm making these changes, it's real time and it's saving in real time also. So I don't have to worry about anything like that. I just go in and we're saved, we're ready to go. Now, there are times you will get to a point that you go, hey, this is great in the browser, but I really need to do some authoring in Excel. So sometimes that browser does lead to some limitations, and you really need to use Excel to do that. So recently, Excel just has come with those capabilities. So I'm going to go in here, and this time I'm going to tell you to open this in Excel. And I'll show you, I've got the most recent version of Excel from Office 365 installed here. Give it a second to open. And notice a couple changes here. One is up here, we see this autosave function. That's what allows us to now collaborate in Excel with our Office 365 and our OneDrive file. So if you don't see that up here, you're still going to be limited to offline edits and saving that document back up. But now that I've got that autosave on, I also see who else is auditing or editing my document right over here. I even got my chat functionality. And as I go through and make a change to the document, we're going to see that change taking place also in the browser. So as we're editing, we're seeing the exact same thing. The only downside you'll see on the Excel version, if I make a change in the browser while someone else is in Excel, the time that it takes for that change to appear sometimes is a little bit slower when we're in Excel. Okay, so we can see we updated there, everything's in, and we're ready to go. All right, so we see that collaboration. So we get a nice, good collaboration between our desktop versions of Office and our web-based versions of Office. Now, this is great when I'm working with an individual or maybe one or two people. As I grow and I need to have bigger collaboration with more people, I'm probably going to look at something like Office 365 Groups. Groups allow us to build a team type site where we can store files, we can have a shared inbox, we can use OneNote, we can use a calendar, and this is what really kind of expands. Now I've got a team of people that are working on this document. With groups, the other advantage is I'm no longer the owner of that file. So if I get removed from that team, if I go into something else, that file still remains with the group, and everybody that's part of that group has access to that file. So we really have a lot of functionality and capabilities when it comes to groups. Take a quick peek at a group here real quick. So here in my browser, I'm connected to a group, and one of the things you'll notice with this group is, again, we've got things like conversations, we've got a shared calendar, we've got a shared notebook, we've got shared files. So outside of what we saw in OneDrive, those groups are going to allow us to have a lot more sharing that is in place. So it's more of a collaboration center than just a kind of a OneDrive kind of storage location. So there's lots of advantage that we see within those groups. Those groups will even really carry right into Outlook. So if I bring Outlook over here, you'll notice same thing kind of happens. I've got my groups down here in Outlook. I can kind of see conversation. I can see the shared inbox. I can click on use the calendar and immediately open up the group's calendar that I go to. If I need to connect and see files, I can click there. It's going to take me immediately to that file location that we were just at a second ago. So our Office products also really integrate well with groups and give us a lot of functionality and capability with these groups. So click on my notebook. I can actually see the notebook that comes within our groups with OneNote. Really expands that. So again, when we get to the point that, okay, OneDrive was nice, but I really need to kind of take this to the next level and have multiple people involved, that's what I'm probably going to be looking at Office 365 groups. Now, in your organization, you might not be able to create a group. That might be something that has to go through a process, just depending on how your organization designs the security around Office 365. Now, to take that one step further, I need to look at SharePoint. So when I get to that point that, okay, this was great for, maybe 10 people, 15 people, 20 people, even in a group, but now it's really departmental wide. I've got policies and procedures that everybody needs access to in my department. I need to have better control over security. I need more than just files. I need calendars, and I need a list. I need asset libraries to put videos in. I need to collect data using InfoPath forms. That's where SharePoint comes in. And so we've gone from that kind of OneDrive personal sharing up to maybe more people to, hey, everybody in my organization needs access to this. And so SharePoint can play a huge role in that. And again, sometimes you'll see a migration path. You'll see a document that started off in OneDrive, you move it into a group, and then now that group's finished with it, they realize that that's something that really needs to be for the department, and they move that over into SharePoint, and it's available and ready to go for everything. What's really nice about this solution, though, is I'm going to go into SharePoint, and one of the things you're going to notice in SharePoint looks just like OneDrive. Okay, they actually are the same platform. So as you learn OneDrive and learn how to collaborate and work inside of OneDrive, as you move over into SharePoint, you're going to see the same interface. Just like I did in OneDrive, if I click on a document here, it's going to open up in SharePoint as a web browser. If I go in and say, hey, I want to actually edit maybe this particular document, I can kind of say open this in Word Online, and now I'm going to get the familiar look and feel of Word as I go through and edit this particular document. So there's a lot of capabilities, a lot of things that I can do, whether I'm in OneDrive, whether I'm in a group, or whether I'm using SharePoint for collaboration. But the same look and feel really is there for all of the products. Now, on my desktop level, we're starting to see that too. So a lot of people getting to the web browser, using the web browser for collaboration stuff, it's great, and it's actually almost recommended because it's more real time. But I still am going to have those times that I'm going to be at my desktop. So with Office 365, a lot of the same functionality that we see in the browser is starting to show up in our desktop. One is I'll show you. I'm going to go in and create a new document here. And one of the things you're always going to see is the share. So as you're working, if you need to share a document, boom, we click that. Now, immediately you'll notice, well, it's telling me, hey, if you're going to share this, we'll put this down at the bottom. Maybe you need to attach a copy, but really, why don't you put it up in one of your OneDrive spaces? That's what OneDrive is designed for, is to share documents and to be a cloud storage. So, don't contribute to the problem of having this file 5 different locations. Put it up into OneDrive and share it out. So even our Office products are kind of promoting that. Even when we go to save, as I go to save this document, immediately you'll notice in Office 16, all my cloud locations show up. So, we're used to browsing, we're going to, my PC, and I'm browsing through folders in my documents. Well, again, Microsoft is saying, hey, if you go to share, why don't you put it in the cloud first? Make it available, make it easy to co-author, make it easy to do what you need to do with it up in the cloud. So in Office 16, they're putting that right in front of us so that's easy to use. And that's really the key. As we roll out Office 365 into an organization, you want people to use it, and if it's not easy, they're not going to use it. So Microsoft is really jumping on and trying to make it easy for people to utilize that. All the way to even Outlook. If we go in and let's say we want to create a new email here in Outlook, we'll notice even when I go to attach a file, it's going and showing me my recent files, but it's also showing me my cloud attachment. And when I choose a cloud file, it's going to ask me, how do I want to share it? Do I want to share it as a link? Do I want to attach a copy? And again, they're really promoting sharing as a link. At that point, if I decide to share it as a link, it's also going to let me control security. So as I choose to share that, I'm going to be able to choose how that security works with that file as it's shared up into the cloud and shared to other individuals. So when we think about collaboration, we're not just seeing that using our cloud solutions, we're also seeing that built into our Office products. Hopefully that gives you a good idea of what to expect and why you want to use Office 365 and some of the real things that you can do with collaborating. I do offer you, please check our website out. Again, we are here to help with any of your training needs, whether it's Office 365, other Microsoft products, Cisco products, business intelligence, business solutions. We're there for you. We have over thousands and thousands of technologies that we can train on. And again, we like to customize our solution to fit your needs. So, it's not a one size fit all type training product anymore. Thank you for your time today, and feel free to email me with any questions that you have.